Hey everyone, welcome to Life Coach University and the Pay It Forward platform. We're so happy to have you here with us today. If you are inspired by this because you get some value from it, or otherwise, if you just feel like being kind and paying that forward out into the world, then we would love to hear all about that. So please share your story with us by emailing it to hello@lifecoachuniversity.com. My name is Chris Weals, and I am talking to you every weekday for the month of June about relationship recovery. We first talked about uh, self-awareness and self-management, and now we're in day 2 of talking about social awareness as it relates to your relationship. And if you have a question, please post that at any time into the Q&A section, and I will answer all of those at the end of the session. Today is day 13. Yesterday, we just did an introduction to social awareness, and today we're going deeper into your beliefs about relationships, about your relationship and about your partner, and your awareness around their beliefs about relationships and about you as well, because the beliefs that you hold, like I mentioned early on in the month in this topic, your beliefs play a huge role in creating the experiences that you have. So if your relationship is not what you want it to be, if you do have challenges, if you're fighting, if you're avoiding, if you're missing a sense of connection that you're craving, then a lot of that is stemming from the beliefs that you have about yourself, which we talked about already, and about your life and about your circumstances, and of course about your relationships in general, and about your partner. Yeah. So if you're holding on to these beliefs that don't serve you, if you growing up, you're exposed to relationships, and so you start to pick up thoughts about what relationships are supposed to be like, or just the examples that you had, your parents or other people in your family, your friends' parents, and all of that, and maybe those weren't the healthiest relationships, but that was your exposure. Those are the examples that you had, and so you might pick up some negative beliefs from that. Or maybe after all those initial feel-good chemicals that you had when you first started dating your partner, when those start to wear off, maybe they start to have some behaviors that you don't absolutely love, and so you start to have different beliefs. Maybe you think that they're not completely trustworthy when it comes to the opposite sex or money, or whatever. Or maybe you think that they're mean because I don't know, they like to joke around and pick on you a little bit. Or maybe you think they're lazy, or whatever it is, because they did some things early on. Maybe you've started to form these negative thoughts, these negative beliefs about them, and now you're holding on to those, and those are negatively impacting you and your relationship and your partner. And then, of course, maybe they have some of these negative thoughts as well. And so that now you're both looking at each other, and you're looking at the relationship through these tinted lenses, that they're tinted by these beliefs that you have. And so you're reacting to them, they're reacting to you based on these beliefs that you hold. And now there's this barrier between you that's created by these beliefs that aren't helping you create the relationship and the experience that you actually want to have with each other. So you still love each other. You both are craving something different. You want better, healthier, more open, honest communication. You want a deeper connection. You want more intimacy. You want to be better friends and enjoy each other's company more. and yet you have something keeping you from that. And I really believe that it's these beliefs that we have that are making it so that we're much quicker to get triggered, to go into that fight or flight mode and get defensive. We start to stack and keep score, right? And when we do that, then our partner doesn't have a chance, really, and that is a very damaging thing to do in a relationship, is to just hold on to. So basically, you're not forgiving your partner. You're holding on to these things. Well, this person can't be trusted, and so you are looking for these. You're looking for confirmation, right? So every little thing they do, you go, yep, I knew it. And then you're quick to react. You're quick to be harsh and call them on that and dump all the all the things they've ever done that are related, throw that in their face, and that's very hurtful. That's very damaging, and we're doing that to each other. And so, yeah, it's really hard to be as close as we want. It's difficult to have the intimacy and the fun, the playfulness, the friendship, all of that. It's really difficult when we're holding on to these beliefs that don't serve us, that don't serve the relationship. And so I think being aware of these beliefs that you're holding on to about relationships in general, based on your whole past and what you've seen, beliefs about your relationship, about what it means to be a partner, whether you're a man or woman or whatever, it doesn't matter whatever you believe you're supposed to be doing. If that's not serving the relationship, if that's not serving you, if that's not serving your partner, that's going to be problematic. And so, we need to be aware of these things. We need to be aware of what our partner is thinking about us. What are their beliefs about us? And that way we can have communication around it, right? So we know, oh, they're reacting that way because they think that I'm out to get them. Like me leaving the cabinets open all the time is because, I know it annoys her, and like I do it on purpose, right? Like that could be a thought that my girlfriend has. I'm not saying that it is or isn't, but maybe it has been. But if we just make these assumptions, then that's creating a barrier between us and our partner. So I think it's really good to have a conversation around these things. Like, hey, what are your beliefs? Like, talk to them about it. Like, hey, I'm going to do this exercise where I just shed some light on my own beliefs about relationships and about you and about our relationship and about me in our relationship. And I would love for you to do the same thing. And then maybe we could talk to each other and see if we can break down some of the walls between us. So that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to be here now with each other, very present, conscious, intentional, and connected, right? If we have all these negative beliefs, if we're constantly going into that fight or flight mode because our ego is trying to protect us based on this perceived reality, these preconceived thoughts about our partner and about relationships and all of that, if we're doing that, then it's really hard to connect you and them, right? It's your ego and their ego most of the time, and egos aren't really coming from love, they're coming from fear, and that's not the kind of relationship you want to be in, I'm assuming. And so part of the recovery in the relationship, part of growing stronger together, part of reconnecting, part of opening the lines of communication is being aware of the thoughts and the beliefs that you're holding on to that are not serving you and your partner and your relationship. And so the homework that I'm going to give to you is just to take a pen and a piece of paper or write it down in the notes in your phone or whatever works best for you. But spend some time asking yourself, what are your beliefs about relationships? What have I picked up along the way that I hold to be true, that one, aren't true necessarily, and two, aren't serving our relationship. They're not serving me, they're not serving my partner. Which of those beliefs are negatively affecting the relationship, right? So to think about what your beliefs, positive and negative, are. Focus on the negative ones, which ones aren't affecting the relationships, and then how can I let go of these? Which of these can I let go? Or what can I believe instead? How can I turn these negatives into positives, or just let them go altogether? Because we want to have more of a positive, optimistic bias. We want to be able to see the good in, or the opportunity. That relationships, for me, like the whole point of being in a relationship is the opportunity for growth. So two people come together to grow together, to enhance each other's lives, right? So that you're whole and they're whole, and you come together and you grow to be just that next higher level of yourself, and you do that together, right? So your life is great, but together it's even better because you're helping each other grow. I think that is what healthy relationships are all about. And so if you're holding on to these negative beliefs about your partner, about your relationship, it's really hard to grow because you're in survival mode. Growth is about thriving, right? And combating your partner because you're defensive, because you think they're out to get you or they can't be trusted, there's no growth there. There's no thriving in that. That's all about survival. That's your brain trying to keep you safe. It's trying to help you survive, when the reality is you don't need it to do that in this situation, because you're not in any immediate threat. Like, your partner isn't trying to kill you, hopefully. If that is the case, that's a whole different story. That's not what we're talking about here. But if it's just these beliefs that you have that are keeping you in fear and keeping you from being connected and communicating fully with your partner, then that it's those beliefs that are keeping you from thriving. It's from keeping you from growing and creating synergy in the relationship. And so write your answers down to these questions. What are the beliefs? Which ones are negatively affecting the relationship? Can I let them go? Can I change them? What can I think instead? What can I believe in instead that will help serve the relationship and help us grow together? And then give your partner the opportunity to do the same thing. Tell them that you're doing this exercise, ask them to do it. Hopefully they'll be open to that. And then this will give you an opportunity for communication, a chance to maybe clear the air about some things, because maybe they have a belief about you that is just a total misconception, and that you can clear it up just with a conversation, or at least open the door to making a shift about their beliefs. Because sometimes it takes evidence. They have to see that your behavior shows what you're now telling them, right? Because you can say, well, yeah, of course I want to close the cabinet doors. I don't want to leave those open, but if I keep doing it, there's a there's a conflict, right? So I actually have to make an effort to close the cabinet doors more often. And so that, like, that kind of communication and actual conversation around the relationship and your beliefs and all that. This can help you connect also too. Like as long as you're staying present with each other and not getting upset by what your partner is saying, you have to keep it a safe space, right? If you do that, then you're really developing two critical components to relationships. That's communication and connection, right? If you're talking about this stuff calmly, kindly, lovingly, coming from compassion and curiosity and wanting to grow, like the purpose of the conversation is mutual growth, then that's going to strengthen your bond. That's going to strengthen the connection that you have with each other. That's the road to recovery, right? If you're challenged, you're fighting, you're disconnected, you're really struggling to have the relationship that you wanted to have or want to have, then having this awareness and developing your communication and connection, I believe that's the way toward that recovery and the recovery and beyond, like getting to that next level of, yeah, this is amazing. We're in bliss. We're actually in that state now of mutual growth and creating synergy. Our lives are better because we're together, right? And you're moving out of codependence into co-commitment. And, it all starts with awareness, right? And awareness of the beliefs that you're holding on to. That's huge. This is a huge part of taking the steps necessary to get to recovery. All right, that is all I have for you today. Thank you all so much for being here with me. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop those into the Q&A. Let's see, it looks like I have a chat. All right, trying to read this. Bear with me here a second. If you could, I'm sorry, I can't really understand what was written. So I don't know that I can answer. If you have a question, that would be really helpful. I see the chat, but I don't quite understand what the comment is. So if you could rewrite that in a question form, that would be really helpful. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like they dropped. So I don't think I have any questions to answer for anyone this time. Thank you all so much for being here. Again, I'm Chris Weals, and this is day 13 of Relationship Recovery. Thank you all so much for joining me here at Life Coach University and the Pay It Forward talks and conferences and courses. And of course, we have our first paid course starting on Monday, June 20th. So please, if you haven't already, go to lifecoachuniversity.com and click on courses where you can sign up for that. And there's a $20 fee for a 5-day course on marriage mindset with Heather Flake. And you will get a ton of value from that for $20, and 50%, so $10 of that will go to a charity in the Phoenix, Arizona area that is all about empowering women. So you're donating to a really great cause, and you're going to get a ton of value from this course from Heather Flake. And if it's a live course each day next week, but if you can't make it live, it's still worth signing up and paying the fee, because you'll get copies of the recording. So you'll get the material to hang on to. It'll be yours to keep it's an incredible value. I signed up already. I'm looking forward to it. Well, all right, everyone. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.